Hello, I am Riley Harvickson, one of the co-coordinators of BCCJP, Bethel College Community for Justice and Peace. We are one of the main civil rights activist groups on campus. If you have something you're interested in fighting for or want to talk about, or something you want us to help you with, we have meetings every Thursday at 3 p.m. Hope to see you there. Thanks.
Can I get the barbecue slide up, please? Okay, so along with Barbecue Club, we'll be hosting the first Barbecue and Belonging event. That will be Thursday, November 20th from 5 to 6:45 in the WAC atrium. So please register by scanning the QR code and hope to see you there.
Yeah, so Barbecue Club is helping with this. We're going to be smoking turkey legs, so come out. They're going to be great. If nothing else, just to eat them.
And I just want to make a special appeal to faculty and staff because this is a student faculty staff event. And we are hopeful that you will all come and we will have an opportunity to talk about what we're grateful for as we go into the Thanksgiving season before we head out for break. Thank you so much.
Good morning, y'all. My name is Lainey Mays on behalf of student government. I just want to let you know that we will be having a Senate meeting tomorrow at 11 a.m. We'll be going over a few fund requests and a couple ISRs. If any of y'all are interested in that, please come find us in the basement of the ad building to the left of the women's restroom. But yeah, 11 a.m. tomorrow. Hope to see you there. Thank you.
Hello, everybody. Just an announcement. We have our Dreamcatchers event this Wednesday at 7 p.m. in Mem Hall. Please join us. And then if you guys, DIVCO sent out an email last week about the Friendsgiving with DIVCO. We'll be sending out another email with the link so you guys can sign up for anybody who's staying on campus on Wednesday so you can have a nice warm meal. And then don't forget to follow us on BC_DIVCO on Instagram so you guys can be updated. Yeah, thank you.
Okay, thank you very much for all of those announcements. As I'm sure you all know, we are nearing the end of our semester, so please be checking on your Convo credits and contacting Trent Voth and me with any questions that you have. Best way to do that is to email convo@bethelks.edu. It goes on to a big stack of requests that we have, and we will get to it eventually. So please be sure to send it to convo@bethelks.edu. That's the best way to do it. Also, we are working on some plans to offer some kind of an additional convocation opportunity on Monday, December 1. If you need some extra Convo credit points yet. So please stay tuned for more details about that. We don't have anything quite ready to announce about place or anything like that, but we're working on that. So if you need some extra credit, we hope to have something for you. For today, we have a couple of different topics. The first has to do with Title IX, and then the second has to do with hazing. The Title IX committee is going to present on Title IX, and then Mashanya Wren-Coleman, Dr. Mimi, will present on hazing. So please welcome the Title IX committee as they start off our convocation for today.
Well, good morning. We're going to do things a little different today. We are going to kind of play a game. So the auditorium is broken up into sections. So in the back section, we have Missy. So you guys are on her team. So everybody in the back section of that pie, you're with Missy. Okay. The front section down here on the left is with Cade. Okay. Okay, it looks like, Felicia, you've got the middle section here in the back. And Tammy, you've got the center section here, okay? Let's see, and Greg, did you have the back section here? Okay, so Greg's got the back section, and then Melissa's got this front section. Do you guys, okay. Okay, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna play a Kahoot game. But I want to inform you, we're doing this a little different, okay? I'm cheap, and I didn't go out and buy the Kahoot platform to do this today because I didn't want to spend $150 for one option. So we're doing it in teams, and so this way we can use the free version. So this is why we're doing it this way. So this is an example of what the first question is going to look like, okay? So what's going to happen is the question is going to come up on the screen. You guys are going to talk about it and give your answer to your team leader, okay? Okay, and then they're going to answer for the group, all right? Now, when we're all said and done, whoever wins this, I have food. You all can dig through the bucket and help yourself at the end for the winning team, okay? But I also want to make sure you realize it's not just giving the correct answer, it's how fast you give the correct answer. So there may be 5 people that have the right answer, but you're not all 5 going to get the same amount of points because the first one gets more points and then the next one gets a little less, okay? So we're going to dive in and give this a try. Okay, questions are going to come kind of fast because we just have half of our time today. So, like for example, this first one is just kind of a sample. Title IX only protects women. Okay, so if that would be a yes or a no, I'm going to give you a clue. It's a no. The answer is false, okay? And then you would get points for that, okay? And it'll show and tally the points for everybody, okay? Are we ready to get started? Okay. So, here's our next question. You must file a police report in order to file a Title IX complaint with your college. Okay? Okay. Excellent. All right. You guys are correct. Okay. Why is it? Okay. And everybody's getting points. Yes. Tammy's team was in first. Okay. All right, next question. All right, here we go. Here's the next one. Title IX only covers sexual harassment and assault. Okay. So it looks like there was a couple that weren't quite sure on this one, okay? So Title IX, yes, it covers sexual harassment and assault, but it covers a lot of other things as well, okay? So it's not just those 2 things. Okay, let's see where we're at total-wise. All right. Okay, next question, number 4. If I was drinking, I can't report sexual assault under Title IX. Yay. All right, everybody got that one correct. Let's see where we're at with points. All right, you guys are doing a good job. Next question. Title IX only applies to students of the college. All right, that's correct. It also applies to employees, okay? So employees are also, we have to make sure that employees are free of harassment and things as well, okay? It's not just students, all right? So let's see where we're at here point-wise. Okay, Missy's team is hanging on by a thread. All right, here we go. Ooh, it's double points. For Bethel to have jurisdiction in a situation where a community person is harassing a student, it must happen on campus. Okay, so, looks like we had a couple folks that were confused on this one. Let's make sure everybody understands. So Bethel would have jurisdiction from a community person. How could that work, okay? So if I am someone from the community and I come in and harass or assault a student or an employee, okay, Bethel really doesn't have jurisdiction over Joe Blow from the community, okay? So I wouldn't have any way to impose a sanction over a community member, okay? I basically all I can do is say you're not allowed on campus, okay? But that would be it. So that's why that would be false, okay? All right, let's see what we've got here. Very, very close, very close. All right. Okay. Do you need to file a police report to request a protection order from a judge? All right. Okay. All right. All right, guys. So the reason this is false is because I just learned this the other day from Chief Betherts. I did not know this either. Anyone can go to the courthouse and can request an order of protection. Protection orders are either going to be for stalking or assault. Those are the two types of protection orders, okay? And I do not have to have filed a police report, okay? So those orders, you would make that request. It goes before the judge. If the judge determines it's appropriate, then you would be granted a protection order, okay? You don't have to have a police report. The reason for that is, let's say someone is maybe in a domestic situation, okay? They may not have filed a police report yet, but that doesn't mean they don't need to be protected, okay? All right, does that all kind of make sense? Well, let's see where we're at point-wise. All right. Okay, next question. Supportive measures like counseling or academic accommodations are only given after a formal complaint is filed. All right. All right, that is accurate, okay? Supportive measures can happen for someone anytime. So if someone just comes in and says, hey, something happened, I don't want to do anything formal, but I need some help. Maybe I'm running behind in a class, or maybe I need some counseling. That supportive measure can happen immediately, and it needs to be offered to you immediately. You don't have to wait till you decide to file a formal complaint, okay? All right, let's see where we're at point-wise here. All right, Greg's in the lead. Okay, next one. The possible sanctions for students and employees are the same in a Title IX case. What do you guys think? Okay. It's actually false. So let's think about this. A student and an employee, okay guys, a student and an employee are going to be treated a little bit differently, okay? A student sanction might be something that's on the severe side would be being expelled, okay? An employee can't be expelled. We might get fired, but we're not going to get expelled. So they might be similar in scope, but they're not going to be the same. So that's what we're looking at with that, okay? All right. Let's see where we landed. Aha! Coach Teeter hopped in front. All right, here we go for the next one. Double points. A student's sexual history is considered relevant evidence in a Title IX case. What do you guys think? Okay, everybody got it correct. It is false, okay? The reason for this is we're not worried about what someone's history is. We're going to worry about the situation that they're bringing forward in the moment, okay? So if someone gets assaulted or someone is being stalked, okay, it doesn't matter what happened 6 months ago. We're looking at what's happening right now with this particular case, okay? So that's why that doesn't matter. All right, let's see where we're at. Ooh. You guys are neck and neck. All right. Okay, next question. Providing a ride to a medical appointment after an assault is considered a supportive measure. Okay, it is true. That is one of the many things that could be provided as a supportive measure, okay? If someone needs a ride to a medical appointment or needs a ride to a counseling appointment, all of those things are things we can help with, okay? We can help you find someone to talk to. We can also help get you a ride there, okay? All right. You're getting close, getting close. All right. Another double point. An incident of assault must happen on campus for Bethel's Title IX process to be in effect. Absolutely. Everybody got that one right. It's false. So let's use an example. If we have a student athlete that goes to an away game, okay? So let's say you're on the basketball team or the football team or the volleyball team, and you're at an away game, okay? Something happens there. That's not on our campus, but it's still affecting you, our students, and so it would still fall in that, okay? So that's why that's going to be the case. All right. Greg's still in the lead. All right. Okay, next question. If you don't file a Title IX complaint within 30 days of the incident, the college will automatically dismiss it. That is good job, guys. All right, so why is it important to file a report sooner versus later, okay? You can file it at any time, but the sooner you do something, the more likely we will be able to gather evidence and talk to people and interview folks as to figure out what happened, okay? So that's why it's not a requirement, but the sooner that happens, we can probably do a much better job of managing the situation for you, okay? So that's why that's important, but it's not required. All right, let's see. Did Greg hold on to the lead? He did. All right. All right. Next one up. A pregnant student who is treated differently in class is a Title IX violation. Okay. So yes, pregnancy is a protected class. Okay? That is the case because when you guys have a baby that's made, boys and girls get treated differently in that scenario, okay? All right? So both male and female, both parents of that child have a right to have protections, okay? But it would be different for the male versus the female in that situation, okay? So that's why. Pregnancy is a protected class in Title IX. All right, we're getting there. Okay, next one. A supportive measure of a no contact order is only available in cases involving sexual assault. Exactly, you guys did great. Okay, so another scenario where a no contact order might work is in a situation of stalking. Okay, so stalking might be an example of when someone would have a no contact order that's not necessarily a sexual assault. All right, they're hanging on back there in the corner. Okay. All right, next one up. Double points. To be considered dating violence, one member of the couple is being forced to have sex. Good job. Good job. All right. That's very good. There's a lot of scenarios that might factor into being dating violence that aren't necessarily someone being forced to have sex, okay? So there's a lot of things that would factor into dating violence, okay? All right, let's see where we're at. All right. Hanging on. Okay, couple more. To be considered stalking, the behavior in question must require you to fear for your safety. Okay. False is correct. That is one of the things, but it's not the only thing, okay? So let's say, for example, if we have, hang on guys, if we have a couple that, let's say an example that someone is stalking someone that they want to have as a girlfriend, okay? And that young lady talks to another guy in class. And the guy who's stalking her goes, man, he goes, I'm gonna beat that guy up if you ever talk to him again, okay? That is still all part of stalking, but it didn't have anything to do with that individual, okay? It could be someone else as well, okay? So stalking's kind of one of those tough ones, all right? All right, let's see where we're at. All right, Greg's still in the lead, all right. Okay. Consent for sexual activity must be knowing, voluntary, clear, and in writing to engage in sexual activity. All right. I'm going to guess somebody misread that question, okay? Okay, so for consent, I realize there's a lot of things that go into obtaining consent from your partner. A written document is really not one of them, okay? But there are a lot of factors for consent. All right, let's see where we're at. All right. Last question, guys. Okay, taking photos or videos of another student in the shower is considered exploitation. Everybody got that one right, okay. All right, let's see where we ended. Okay, who's in third place? Coach Teeter's team took third. Missy's got second. And I'm sure Greg's team is in the back. Okay. All right. Okay, so, okay, let me get your attention for a quick second, guys. Okay, so as we've learned, there's some different things about Title IX, and I hope this was a little bit more of an engaging way than me standing up here won't at you, okay? So when this team back here in the back, when Greg's team heads out, I've got a big bucket of food for you guys to dig through, and you can grab what you want on your way out, but we're gonna do it as we're leaving, okay? So, Title IX portion is over. So, does anybody have any questions as far as Title IX? Yes. You guys can come to me. My office is in the admin building, but you guys can also, right. Okay, you guys can also talk to anybody else on the team. Okay. So, our hosts today, we're all Title IX. Anybody that's on the Title IX team, raise your hand. Okay. So, Dr. Mimi, Greg. Tammy, So you can actually reach out to any member of the team, okay? That does also bring up a good point, Lily, as far as who is a mandatory reporter. So let's say you go talk to one of your instructors, you talk to one of your professors, you talk to your coach, okay? They are a mandatory reporter, so they're gonna pick up the phone or send me an email and just say, hey, this student said something that I think you need to be aware of. And I'm gonna send you an email, and that's all I'm gonna do, okay? I'm gonna send you an email that's gonna have supportive measures in it, how we can help, what your options are, because my thing is I want you to make an informed decision, okay? And then I'm gonna sit and wait, okay? I'm not gonna follow you around, I'm not gonna harass you after class, I promise. I will send you an email and then I will sit and wait for you to make the next move, okay? All right, any other questions? All right, well, I'm gonna turn this over to Dr. Mimi, and she is going to take over the second half about hazing.
Okay, good afternoon, good morning, everyone. How many of you all are familiar with hazing? Give me a quick definition, anybody? Quick definition about hazing. Can you hear me back there? Okay. All right, can you hear me now? Give me a quick definition with hazing. What do you think hazing is? Forcing you to do something? What did you say back there, sir? What did you say?
Treating someone differently or like bullying someone.
Okay, anyone else? A lot of times you hear the word hazing when it refers to Greek fraternities and sororities and things of that nature. You hear a lot about hazing. So now, we have a Stop Hazing Act for colleges and college campuses. And now it's really against the law for anyone to be hazing anyone, to be a part of any organization. And here's the definition. The Stop Hazing Act defines hazing as any intentional, knowing, or reckless act committed by a person, forget that misspelled word, whether individually or in concert with other persons, against another person or persons, regardless of the willingness of the other person or person to participate. In other words, if this person is being forced, as you said earlier, if you are being forced to do something that you really don't want to do, but because you really want to be a part of this organization, you do it anyway. But you're uncomfortable with doing this. You do not have to do anything against your will to be a part of any organization. Is that understood? You do not have to do anything that is against your will, makes you feel uncomfortable to be a part of any organization. I think I'm doing this right. Maybe I'm not doing this right. Next. So as of July 1, this act has been put in place that protects anyone who has been hazed under any circumstance. So in other words, you can do what? You can report it, and people can be what? Arrested. It is against the law for anyone to be hazed on any campus to be a part of any organization. Am I doing this right? I'm trying to move this quickly. I want to show this quick video. Nope, that may not be good, huh? Okay, here it comes. We got it. Hey, I didn't know how to embed it into my PowerPoint. None of you all stopped by my office to help me. All right, here we go. Let's play this video real quick.
And you could get a message and it'd just be like, every person in this chat, come to the house at 9 p.m., come to this room or something. They could message you whenever, really. You would have to do tasks for the older guys.
They're summoned to sleep over at the house.
Skate, he's running. Skate, skate, somebody else grab him. Skate, skate, skate.
Sometimes for days on end without going home, without showering, without being able to go to class.
And then I started to notice that Danny wasn't going to class. And then Danny started telling me that he doesn't have any money. I was like, you're only not even a month into being a freshman at Mizzou. Like, what? This isn't making sense.
They were ordering Danny and the other pledges to go get alcohol, get marijuana, and buy food. And he'd have to pay for it with his own money. They would make him come over to the fraternity house and clean their room. They'd tell him to do homework for him. All of these things were going on day and night, 7 days a week, while he's brand new to college and supposed to be in school.
You're supposed to feel like almost like a piece of dirt in the sense that you're a servant for them. You're not a person, you're a pledge. And like you have to do anything until you're actually initiated. And then, you know, there's the lineups.
The lineup is usually done somewhere private, away from windows or other peering eyes, where they would literally line up the pledge class and abuse them.
We've seen numerous examples around the country, from creating concoctions of hot sauces and onions and other vile liquids for them to consume.
Drink rag ball. No. Yo, go. Drink it. Drink a rag ball. Drink the rag ball. Oh my God.
To have individuals have to do strenuous activities or stand up at a wall while other members pound them on their chests. What a pledge is trying to demonstrate is that they're tough, they can handle it. They're worthy to be a brother.
Houses of Horror, Secrets of College Greek Life.
Being a member of a sorority, I know what this hazing life is about. We were doing things that back then we really weren't protected from, but because we wanted to be a part of that organization, we kind of did them anyway. So some of these things that you all saw, these are things that are actually happening, not just for fraternities and sororities, but other clubs and organizations, athletics, different athletic programs. People are being tortured just to be a part of an organization. Is that necessary? Do we want something that bad? Yes? Really? You know, as I look back and at this age now, I'm like, oh my God, what in the world was I thinking? You know? Because there was a thing, we wanted to be the chosen one and not one just, put into the organization. So we did these crazy things. But you do not, and I repeat myself, you do not have to go through any of this. I call it foolery. You do not have to go through any of this foolery to be a part of any organization, okay? The Bethel College hazing policy, I'm not reading this. I'm just going to let you all know it can be found on our website. But we do have a hazing policy in place. So if you see something, you hear something, know of something, you should what? Say something. You need to report it. Because again, I say, you do not have to do any of this to be a part of any organization. Again, I have that noted up there. See something, say something. No, see something, say something. In the spring, everybody's going to go through a training with Vector Solutions for hazing. Some of you are probably familiar with some of the trainings that you have to do as it relates to alcohol, drugs, et cetera, et cetera. Well, guess what? Now we have one that's going to be dealing with hazing. So look for this. It's going to be coming to you in the spring via your email for you all to complete, okay? So make sure you pay attention to that because it's important that you all know your rights and that you also know that this is something that you do not have to tolerate. Next, is it me that's supposed to be clicking? Look, it's Monday, you all. I'm still trying to get it together. Okay, there it is. All right, again I say, if you know of something, if you see something, do what? Say something. The good thing is, I'm glad to know that this campus does not have Greek organizations, because that would be a whole lot on student life to kind of tolerate you all trying to do crazy stuff. So if you are doing some craziness, stop it. I heard you. Stop it, please, stop it. All right? Hazing is an offense. You can be arrested for it. I know you've heard of individuals who have died from hazing, lost their lives for trying to be a part of an organization. It is never that serious, okay? So again, we wanted to make sure you all understood the rules and policies as it relates to hazing. I hope you all have taken notes to this, adhere to this, and let's keep our campus safe, okay? Thank you. Oh, were there any questions? Everybody good? Oh, I have a hand. Yes, go ahead. I'm sorry. Okay, the definition that you saw comes from the Hazing Policy Act. So that definition is simply saying if you're forced to do something that you're uncomfortable with doing, whether it's by one person or a group of individuals to be in an organization, that's hazing. It's hazing.
Practice. And I'm uncomfortable with that.
So if you are an athlete and you don't want to practice, is that what you're saying?
If I don't want to go to practice, yeah.
Okay, so that's totally different from hazing. Practicing from a sport, excuse me, you all, excuse me 1 minute. Practicing for a sport is different from hazing. Practicing for a sport is preparing you for the games. It's preparing you to compete. Hazing is not preparing you to compete for anything. They're simply saying to you, if you want to be a part of this organization, you have to do this.
And that is the literal language in the bill?
Say that again?
That's the literal language, that's the direct language from the bill?
Yes, this is directly from the bill. Yes, you can look it up. I have a copy if you want it.
Okay.
Yes. I may have missed something, but yes, it's directly it is directly from the bill. It's not something that I personally made up. I didn't make it up, okay? Okay. All right. Thank you for your comment. No, thank you for your comment. Thank you for your question, okay? Anyone else? Okay. All right, thank you all for your time. Have a great one.